All right, guys, so today we have a tour of a 1984 Dodge Power Ram four-wheel drive Prospector model. The Prospector was a trim level. For a long time, I didn't know that. I thought it was an actual model with a bunch of upgrades, but it really is not that much over just a base model. Now this truck is definitely a used truck, but it was a one owner for the most of its life. So first owner sold it to his son, and then I got it from his nephew. Factory black truck, red interior. Factory tire size would be 225 75 15, which is about a 30-inch diameter. This truck has 31s on it, and an aftermarket front bumper or brush guard, a block heater, and a CB radio / PA system. Other than that, this truck is relatively stock and a great example for a tour of what one of these would look like if you were going to buy one used, and a reference to see what was stock or not. This one has a dealer add-on, which is those running boards, commonly removed because they'll get ripped off when you're off-roading. Part of the Prospector package is this bright trim around the taillight and on the bumper itself. You also get bright trim on the tailgate. Otherwise, on a lesser model, that would just say Dodge stamped in right there. This is a 150. The D and W series trucks are pretty much the same, aside from D is two-wheel drive, W series is four-wheel drive. This is a single tank. Another addition with the Prospector package is a 36-gallon extended range tank for more prospecting off-road. Let's go ahead and take a look inside. When you open the door, you'll see wood trim, also part of the Prospector package. We have a full set of gauges: voltage, temperature, oil pressure, and fuel level. 5-digit odometer, 85-mile-an-hour speedometer. We have a two-tone horn. This model did not come with air conditioning. Wrong. Let's see. And then we have an AM/FM standard radio, no CD. In 84, tape would have been an option, but this model did not get it. As for controls, we have a clutch pedal, brake pedal, gas. We have our parking brake. This would be our parking brake release right here. This is our hood release. If we hop up in here, cool to hot. We have two different zones, so above windshield and then heat. We have a vent right there. And then these vents are actually fake, which is pretty interesting to me. A couple things that I think are really cool about this. First off, we have our vent windows, which most trucks of this era have, but if you take a listen to this. Very satisfying click right there. Love that. If we turn this key forward, you'll notice we have our four-wheel drive alert. So if we go ahead and change her over to four-wheel, you'll see the hubs locked goes red. And then when you push it forward, it'll ask you to unlock the hubs because the hubs are still locked. So you have to roll forward and then roll backwards to unlock them and make sure that the front is not locked once you hit the highway. So we have a little storage down here, cigarette lighter, storage down here, glove box for my registration. We have our original manual here, and then this right here is the information for the original owner, Marion. Got our manual that comes with the truck. We have a CB radio that is era specific. Crank that on.
Please like and subscribe.
We have our PA system hooked up. I have a hanger for that coming soon. A red interior is a nice looking interior. Base model trucks would have had a vinyl interior. Leather was available, but very uncommon. This is a cloth seat. Obviously, it has the standard wear from getting in and out. It also has that on the other side. So it has a seat cover here, but let's see if we can't, oh, it won't let us pop that off. But we have a fold forward seat right here. Some storage in the back. Aftermarket hanging storage. Some base models would have not had this rear opening window. And then we have our visors here with our four-wheel drive alert. And then an oil change tracker here. You can see it has a note from 1980 something in there. Pretty interesting. Let me pop the hood and let's go take a look there. In this truck we have a 318 engine. In this engine you could have gotten a in this truck you could have gotten a 6-cylinder, a 318 like this one, which is a 5.2 liter V8, or a 360, which is a 5.9 liter V8. All options were available with manual or automatic transmission. There are 3 belts on here. Very simple standard V belt. For older truck, we have our block heater right there, which comes out and just hangs off the front right here. This chrome bumper is part of the factory bright package with the Prospector. And then you'll notice we have power brakes, power steering, pretty simple basic engine, tons of room in the engine bay for extra stuff if you wanted it. Pretty confident we could find a space for a spare tire in here. Maybe not a 31, but we have a mat on the hood to make it extra quiet while we're running. A lot of other older trucks don't come with that as a standard option. You'll also see our tool storage over here for dropping the spare tire, which is under the rear of the tailgate. I'll take a look at that. So here's the back of the vehicle. And there's our spare tire. Another interesting thing about this, Fords and Chevys will have their model designations for if they have a limited slip, axle ratio, what transmission it initially came with, things like that in the door. But on this, it actually has a tag right here. This one has since faded away, but I do like that this exists. It looks like it's just a piece of paper that's in there. I'm afraid to even try to get crazy with it because it might fade even more. But yep, it does show NP 135, 3,500 pound front axle, 3.2 axle ratio, catalytic converter. Pretty interesting. Anyways, let's go ahead and take a look at the bed and see if there are any extra options there. Now, a lot of these models suffer from tailgate fatigue, so I have to open it manually. Now, this part doesn't work. So if you just reach in here, there are these cutouts right here to access the mechanism. Pull that one out. There we go. And we'll pull this guy out here. Now, I would have replaced the tailgate because I found one at a junkyard the other day, but it was in almost as bad a condition and I didn't want to spend the money. So let's hop up. So inside of the bed here, this is a short bed, so 6 foot length. We have 2 stake pockets, one 2, and then 1, 2. We have our cargo light here. There's a switch on the dash, which actually illuminates at night. So that way, if this is on, you can tell. Got a cutout for our fuel fill. Not really much to see here aside from just a lot of reinforcement. I know some other makes of trucks don't have all these reinforcement grooves stamped into the metal, so that is nice. This bed is fairly rust free. It has a couple stabs in it, one right there and then one right here, but standard for chucking stuff in and out of the bed. I don't think this is a standard option. Oh, I'm gonna keep that. Came with the truck. But yeah, other than that, oh, another standard option here is you can see that this is actually not rust. This is primer. So the paint itself has worn away, but you can see where the primer itself is, and the primer is a different color than the paint. That's something that I really like. Some automakers will do, say, a white primer with white paint or a black primer with black paint. I like this because you can tell where it is if or when it does end up wearing out. And this being a what, 20, 30, 40-year-old truck, it's definitely nice to have that confirmation. Anyways, this is a tour of my 1984 Dodge Ram W150 short bed, standard cab, 4-wheel drive, 4-speed manual pickup truck. Please like and subscribe. Thanks so much.